Hello and welcome to the Queber channel. I am Jason, your host. There's a Coldplay song out there, and one of the parts it says, "Nobody said it was easy. No one ever said it would be this hard." I think for people who have mental illness, people who have challenges in their life that can't just be fixed, we never wanted to be like this. We never wanted to be different. I used to, as a child, look on in wonder and confusion at the ability for people around me to lie. It was like a fucking superpower. It truly was. I used to see people smile, and I wondered what was wrong with me. What was stopping me from that? Was everybody lying? Was everybody as depressed and upset and fucked up in the head as I was feeling at the time? And I didn't even know the word depression or anything like that, but I knew that I didn't understand why everybody smiled. You see, I'm officially diagnosed with autism, bipolar type 2 and ADHD. We think I've also got OCD, but it hasn't been officially diagnosed. That's the reason I don't talk about it. It's too easy to self-diagnose and get things wrong. I am always depressed, except when I'm really hyper. Now, they tried medication with me, but I am what's classed as drug sensitive, which means that certain people are, and we are the people that get the bad side effects when we take medication. You have to be very careful about adding a new medication to the list, because there's a good chance that my body, if it doesn't tolerate it or something, it will come up with one of the bad side effects. The medications, the antidepressants, actually pushed me further and further towards suicide. It's a known fact, unfortunately, that medication that helps your brain settle and be less depressed can also have the complete opposite effect if they're not well managed and if they don't fit with you. And the other problem is that if you do manage to have if you manage to find a drug or medication that cures the bipolar side, then your mind collapses. Why does it collapse? Because I've been living my whole life with autism, ADHD, and bipolar. 3 separate pillars, 3 foundations of fuck up, 3 things that were never separate and always interacted with each other. What happens when you take one of them away? You lose your sense of self. You lose who you are. I might be fucked up, I might be weird, I might be strange, but this is who I am. You take an entire third of my brain's status away, and things are going to go wrong, and they did. This is why I was so close to an end of life event in 2019. Before we took this other path of using technology and everything. I've always said it like this. It's like if you picture a sound wave that's just a line on an oscilloscope, or some kind of a line on an oscilloscope or something, and it's nice and level here. Your emotions are happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad. You might have little spikes if something bad happens, like a divorce or a death in the family or anything like that. You'll have a spike downwards. Or you'll have some amazing things like a child being born and things like that, or something amazing happens. Your team wins in the sport that you follow, and you'll spike up into a little bit of hyper. This is you. This is my natural state down here in deep depression. I can nosedive from there into bad places, or my brain can overreact so much that it spikes up into the air so high that I think I'm a god and can do anything and nothing can hurt me. Yay for bipolar type 2. And the thing is, because it's also integrated into my ADHD and my autism and that, it's not a separate thing. This is why finding all these coping strategies is so important. This is why every time I buy a phone, every time I find a new game, every time I find a new project to do, because then I'm leveraging my autistic side, my affinity for technology and gaming and all that, and I'm leveraging and I'm forcing myself in a direction that's more of a gentle upstream. This is why I have coping strategies for everything. It's a survival instinct with me. I've got to. Because left to my own devices, my brain will always go. I always say, bad things can happen. This is why it's so important that when I introduce a new technology, a new coping strategy, that it brings more positives than negatives. Now, in the past, I didn't have a choice. I had to ignore or try to ignore the fact that my big computer was costing me money every time I fucking turned it on. I guess everything you turn on, but it was costing me a lot of money. And paired with the wonderful knowledge of knowing of the cuts and the reductions in disability and the chances of them totally destroying everything I've ever had, all these things made it amplified the cost, the power efficiency. This is why I had to go down this path of replacing my big computer. I love my big computers, but it's not mine anymore. It's going to my friend. He's given me some money to be able to do all this. I love my PowerEdge server downstairs, but I can't use it. That's going to my friend instead. I it's a battle all the time. Because the negative sides, the bipolar and that doesn't stand still. There's always some kind of fucking crap going on in the world that my brain can latch onto. And if my ADHD side latches onto it and won't let go, and it's a negative and it's like things going really badly in the world, then this is why I do my videos. When something like the stuff with Iran and that come out, the reason I do those videos is not because I'm political or anything. It's a survival instinct to get it out of here so it doesn't fester, throw it on a video and then stop thinking about it. And sometimes it's absolutely exhausting. Like I'm coming down from a high at the moment. I know that because I'm in that state. I'm sent my I'm sending my thingy back later on today. My Samsung S25, and I'm saving up for a Fairphone 6 because while the older Fairphones were never powerful enough and couldn't do everything I needed, this new one has the specs to be able to, and it comes with the positive sides of being able to repair it, replace the battery. It has a micro SD slot that's rated up to a 2 terabyte micro SD. It has some wonderful features. It's got the shiny thing, but it's also got all these things where the Samsung S25 was amazing in certain ways. Fucking brilliant camera, amazing efficiency. It lasted almost 2 days without a charge and things like that. But the storage was always at the back of my mind. You've only got 512 gigabytes on there, and you can't put a micro SD slot in. What happens when you fill it up? And then they filled the fucking phone with AI. How much of your information are they trawling and taking? And when the battery fails, when the USB port fails, that's it. It's fucked. It might last 3-4 years, but knowing you with the way you use a phone, it'll probably get broken before then. All these negative sides to the positive sides, and my bipolar and my ADHD would grab hold of them and lessen the positive coping strategies that phone brought into things. That is why I'm always striving to make sure that anything I bring in or anything that I change, it may look like I change tech a lot, but every tech I change is trying to go in the upwards direction with less negatives, more positives. Like this computer I've got here, this Eco computer, it's fucking brilliant. It doesn't have a graphics card in it. But I have been playing my fucking games, and I've been playing Space Engineers too last night. I played any game I've tried on it, it's just worked. I mean, I'm not going to try something like fully modded Skyrim, but it might be possible. It's kind of strange. But there is so much positive to it that the only negative I've got is these 2 monitors at the side are not energy efficient, and I want to replace them, but it's going to cost about £400 to replace them both with low-powered, energy-efficient models. I've got my portable monitor downstairs, my U-Perfect fucking monitor, 18.5 inches, which is big enough for side monitors. Runs on 6 watts. 6 freaking watts. These run on between 30 and 40 watts. That bothers me. But it's not a deal breaker. I can wait. And there's also the positive with that it gives me a goal, a future goal to head towards, a future plan. Nobody said it would be easy. No one said it would be this hard. I can understand why some people give up. I can understand why when my mental health care professional talked to me back in the middle of 2019 and said to me, how the fuck are you still alive? Because the stuff I deal with, the depression and that and everything, is so erodes your mental willpower and your ability to fight back. And that's the basics. That's the basics. When you pile on the experience of watching my mum die from early onset dementia and being totally and completely useless and not being able to heal her, the experiences of watching my wife die over 20 years, and the experiences of that. For a normal person, that's a fucking fucked up situation. Someone with bipolar and ADHD and autism who will grab hold of those negatives and use them to beat you down every day. That's why these coping strategies I have. And this is also why I make sure that I've got battery backup. I don't mind if I can't run the heating off solar. I don't mind if I can't run the cooking off solar and all that. I can deal with that. But the thought that one day I would come to turn on my computer and I wouldn't be able to, that's terrifying, because that I know. To most people, a Steam Deck or a phone or a tablet and that is a luxury item. To me, it's part of my medical treatment that keeps me from having an end-of-life event. It is as real and important as if I was diabetic and taking insulin, or on dialysis and using a dialysis machine. It is as important to me as that. It is why I have so many backups. It's why every single part of everything I do cannot be a single point of failure. Because if something fails and I don't have a backup, then bad things will happen. And it's exhausting sometimes. And every time I create a new coping strategy and it's slightly better and it has less negatives, it's less exhausting. It's what drives me. It's why I will always have to keep it going and doing. This is never a battle I will win. At best, I have holding actions. You see me smiling and happy on the video, and that's a good thing because it's true. Because I don't lie. Because I can't deceive you. Because I can't tell you. Some days are harder than others. This morning was hard. Everything was going perfectly fine, wonderful. I had just moved off all the files off one of my 16 terabyte external drives, and I took it downstairs and I plugged it in to be used with the Unraid thingy to add another 16 terabytes of fucking space. Yeah, more space. I love having more space on my Unraid server. I'm so happy and so happy. And then I come upstairs and I'd set an alarm. To remind me of something. And when I told my Echo Dot to stop the alarm, it went off at 7:30. It gave me the weather and it started to play a song. And that song reminded me of Paola. And all of a sudden, zoom down. Because I walked into this room and I looked around. Paola wasn't here. And her desk wasn't there. And her computer wasn't there. And all the things that have happened since she died that I would have loved to share with her. I can't. And that was just triggered by a song. I don't listen to music often because Paola loved music so much and she always was playing music all the time. She made playlists for every event, everything. She'd make playlists for each day of the week. I always remember sitting upstairs in my room when Paola was downstairs in the other house. Downstairs, I was upstairs, she was downstairs. Her bed had been set up in the living room because of the dialysis. So the living room had become her bedroom. And I'd already be awake, but I never went down because I didn't want to wake her up. I didn't want to wake her up until she was ready. So I always listened for the first song she'd put on. And she'd sing along to it. Of course, her voice was shot by this time, so it was always almost sounded like a strangled cat sometimes. But I always waited for those first few notes before I'd come downstairs to deal with the dialysis, clean the system, prime it for the next night, make her food and everything. And then we gamed together, we watched programs together, we did everything together. And these are what I say when I say that it's a day where I'm sad. But that's okay. I'm not end of life sad. I'm just sad. And I can manage that. And I can think about how much power I can turn those thoughts around and think about stuff like, oh my god, she would have hated the new Star Wars movies and the direction that Marvel has gone in with all the woke stuff. She would have fucking hated all of that. We would have been having such bitches and rants about it because she loved to rant about stuff when she had the energy. She would have loved the fucking Steam Deck. Oh my god, she would have had a Steam Deck, definitely. It would have been the perfect thing to take to hospital. I will never follow through what's classed as the normal levels of grief. In fact, when I went to early on in 2019, they put me together with a specialist in grief counselling because they could see I was going down a bad path. And because Paola was my anchor and everything. And after reading, this person had many years' experience in grief counselling. And once again, she read my notes and everything and all the things, and we talked. I could tell she was at a loss. She was actually at a loss. She felt like she was failing me. With all her experience of helping people through grief, because of the way my brain wouldn't let go of certain things because of the ADHD and all that, but also because of the PTSD that meant I was reliving my wife's death as an actual real event over and over. She was a lovely person, but she just didn't know what to do. We just talked, and then she felt like she hadn't helped me at all. Well, I explained to her, this isn't something someone can fix. She was actually concerned that I would die of a broken heart. That was one of the big concerns they had at the start. You can die of a broken heart. Let me just find the actual. It's called, and I'm going to mess this up, Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, also called broken heart syndrome. It's categorized by an acute weakening of the heart muscle, often triggered by the severe emotional or physical stress. You can come back from it, but this is why sometimes you see an old couple and that together. One of them will pass away, and then a couple of months later, their partner will just fade away too. Paola was my anchor for 20 years. My entire coping strategy, everything that I do on my own, everything that I had was invested in her. I had no plan B. I had no coping strategy at all. Nothing was available to me. When she passed away, it ripped everything away from me. Well, this is a longer video than I thought I was going to do. But I need to get it out of here and on here as usual. So yeah. Nobody told us it was going to be easy. But nobody told us it was going to be this hard. Take care of yourselves, everyone. I really hope that you have a reason to smile every day. That you take joy in the small things, the little things that don't cost. Fuck what they say about the extravagant stuff. Yes, it's nice, but it's the small things. It's friendships. It's care. It's happy. It's a guilty pleasure. Your favourite TV show. Your favourite ice cream. Your favourite food. Playing with a dog. Or a cat. Or your pet. Or whatever. Just having fun. It's the little things. Take care of yourself. Bye bye for now.